Hallo Miners, welcome back. This week I have the power. That's right, I'm He-Man. We are playing Boros Energy Aggro in Legacy. If you've seen the modern version of this deck, it's honestly pretty much just the modern version ported into Legacy with Wastelands for added disruption, better removal in the form of swords to plowshares, and plateau for your dual land instead of a sacred foundry. But other than that, it's pretty much the same thing. The whole deck revolves around just the energy mechanic from the Modern Horizons 3 cards, being able to produce energy and gain life with Guide of Souls to be able to funnel that energy into either Amped Raptor, being able to cast something for free, or being able to funnel it into creatures that attack to be able to give them flying and a +2/+2 counter. So this is just an aggro deck. The whole point of it is just curve out, go wide, build energy, have synergy. The nice cool thing is from Bloomborough, we actually get Agate Instigator, which was kind of a sleeper. I didn't really see what this card was at first, but then I started playing with it, and basically it's a 1/3 lizard with Offspring. And if you don't know what Offspring is, it's essentially Kicker, where if you pay the Kicker cost, you get a 1/1 token copy of the creature. But the important thing about that is whenever a creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. And this deck is a go wide deck. So just playing your creatures, you're going to ping your opponent down. And some of these creatures can put multiple bodies onto the battlefield. Like Amped Raptor could hit another creature off of its ETB. A Johnny Nakatl Pariah creates a 2/1 cat when it enters the battlefield. Jacked Rabbit, when it attacks, it creates tokens equal to its power. Wildfire Awakener, you just convoke it and you make a bunch of 1/1 creatures that, in addition to that, those 1/1s deal 1 damage to any target when they get tapped. So you're burning them out when you're putting those on the battlefield, and then you're burning them out when you attack. And then if you can do really dumb stuff and have 2 of them, you could use the tokens from the first one to convoke out the second one. And it just gets absolutely ridiculous if you're able to do that. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty much just a Boros aggro shell that's using the energy mechanic for synergy. Sideboard is pretty simple stuff. Containment Priest, Fairy Macabre for combo decks, Magus of the Moon to shut down greedy mana bases and land style strategies. Harsh Mentor is for the Nadu decks that are running around like crazy to be able to punish the activated abilities. And then Price of Progress also just to have some additional reach to be able to burn out opponents when they've stalled your board presence or burn out those greedy mana bases from a huge life total. So let's take this deck through a league, see how it does, and see if we can power out some wins. I'll catch you all in the wrap up. Hey everyone, Steve from the future. Quick note here, I was having some major issues with my recording software during this league, so please bear with some of the technical difficulties. I did go back and re-record the matches as soon as I realized I did not record properly, so that I still knew exactly what my choices and my mind state was in them, so it's not like I'm coming back days later to try to figure it out after I'd watched through the replays and everything. So, sorry for some of the issues. Please bear with me, and on to the magic. Okay, so I had some issues with my recording software for match 1. I don't know what happened, but for some reason it unsynced my mic and like didn't show my mic as my input device. I didn't realize it until like a turn or 2 into the match here. So we're going to do a recap here. Round 1, already up against a well-known Storm player, Eureka. I was excited to see that. Kind of did a little bit of chatting back and forth with them because I knew they were a well-known combo player as well. So pretty much just decided to be like, okay, cool. It's cool being up against them. So they end up winning the die roll. They get to go first. I decide to mulligan my first hand because I only had 1 land. And my practice with this deck showed that I could not keep a 1-lander. It just always failed. Even if the hand was great, if I hit a second land, like I just could never hit my lands on time if I didn't start with at least 2. So this one in particular, I thought it was a little weird that my second land was a waste land, but I got both colors off of Arid Mesa, Wasteland for disruption, Source of Plowshares for disruption. I waffle back and forth between putting away the second swords and the Jacked Rabbit, put away the swords instead. So end up keeping this. Opponent goes on their turn, and I'm like, all right, cool. They're already on Storm. And at this point, they just power out a turn 1 Beseech. I'm like, oh shit. Ended up grabbing a Song of Creation on empty hand. I'm like, all right, I gotta hope that they draw like shit for the rest of the game here. So I just play out my land. I'm like, I gotta try to aggro them. It's all that I can do. So play out my creatures. Opponent entombs. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be an Echo of Eons in the graveyard. And they go find Echo, throw it in the bin. I gotta hope that they didn't draw anything relevant. And it looks like they bricked on those first 2 draws off of They're in Tomb, and sure enough, Tendrils and Wishclaw Talisman in the grave. So I'm already living on borrowed time at this point. Um, I kind of waffle back and forth here for a minute about if I want to try to hold on to Swords to Plowshares just to try to screw with a Storm count if they go off, because I'm going to get 1 life off of the Ocelot Pride, and I can go up to 21 with Swords to Plowshares if they go for exactly a Tendrils for 10. Um, but I decided I need to be aggro. I run out an Amped Raptor. Unfortunately, I hit a 3-drop off of it, so I can't cast it. I'm like, alright, so I just gotta hope that the opponent bricks here. They get a land. I'm still living on borrowed time. At this point, I'm like, okay, cool. Let's go. I get another Amped Raptor. I'm like, I just gotta stick the course. Go as aggressive as possible. Get as many creatures onto the battlefield as possible. I have to aggro them down. I'm living on borrowed time here. So I just play my creatures, turn them sideways, swing out. This is about the time I realized that I didn't have my mic working properly. And then Eureka ends up dropping a Wishclaw Talisman. I'm like, okay, they have the Lion's Eye Diamond regardless at this point, but they also just happen to naturally draw the Lion's Eye Diamond as well, so they didn't even have to tutor for it. So at this point, I know the game's lost. I'm kind of just bullshitting back and forth with Eureka here about Storm decks and our experiences with them, and kind of just talking a little bit and telling them I can't even be mad that I'm losing to Storm. Like, as a Storm player, I can't be mad losing to it, but I let Eureka have some fun, combo off here. You see that the Storm count is way higher than it would have mattered if I tried to get cheeky and hold up the Swords to Plowshares anyways. So, end up dying to a Tendrils with Storm of, I think that was 13 or something. And yeah, this is the point where I get my mic working, because I was working on that while I was talking with Eureka and letting them combo off. So I will join you live for sideboarding and game number 2. Okay, I think I got my mic issue fixed here. We are coming back to our opponent tendriling me out of the game. I will do a recap and get you up to this point here, but now that we actually have audio back, that was super close considering the fact that they were able to turn 1 Song of Creation. So against what our opponent's doing here, I really don't even know what we should do. We really don't have any game against them, to be completely honest. Like, we can try to screw with some graveyard lines with Fairy Macabre. We could try to Price of Progress them out of the game, but they're probably going to go off before that's relevant. We could try to mana screw them, but they have so much artifact mana, I don't think it matters. I think we're going to bring in the Fairy Macabres, try to mess with their graveyard, take out the Jackrabbits because they're just too slow, and let's try something like that. Alright, let's see if we can out-aggro them this time. This is a very aggro hand, but it's got no disruption. I think we just gotta try to go for it. I don't think we have a shot in hell if we don't just aggro the opponent out and hope that they don't have it. Like, we can screw with the Storm count with Swords to Plowshares, which was something I was considering last game, but decided it was better to just try to go aggro. But we'll see. You saw the Storm count in that last game too, which is so high, none of it mattered. But I feel like this deck in particular is just going to hardcore just fold against Storm like this. But I mean, being a Storm player, I can't really complain, especially losing up against one of the great ones. So let's see if Eureka can go off turn 1 this time again. It looks like maybe. This is a turn 1 bargain. Okay, there's nothing I can do here. Well, let's see if they can keep going here. It looks like they can. Just having a little bit of a chat here with Eureka as a fellow Storm player while they're comboing off here. So basically, they got it. There's no way that they're going to fizzle from here. I'm going to let them have their fun for a little bit while I just sit here and chat. Like, yeah, they're taking a look at our hand. They're just like, yeah, Beseech Echo deck is super fast. And it is. Like, as a Storm player, I can't be bad losing to Storm ever. And I'm letting Eureka have their fun. Like, I guarantee you they have a way to go get Tendrils if they don't just naturally have it. Yeah, there's the Beseech for the Tendrils. Oh, there's the Tendrils. Good job, Eureka, good job. Hopefully you catch this later on YouTube, but hey, always good to see Storm doing well. Alright, already off to a rough start. Lost to a Storm player round 1, but I can't be mad about that. Is this Granum? The well-known, like, Maverick player? Am I up against all the greats today? Won the die roll, so we're going to take the play here. I'm curious if this is Granum. Which, if I remember right, they're a very well-known Maverick player. Yorion Maverick? Seems a little odd, but maybe this is actually death and taxes. I don't hate this by any means, so I think we're gonna go ahead and keep this. We do have turn one swords to plowshares if we need it. Turn two, I'm probably gonna play the Agate Investigator. But I'm gonna start off on the Prismatic, make them think that maybe I'm on some kind of control deck. This also lets me go grab a basic to play around Wasteland if I need to. I can actually get both of my colors off of this if this is in fact Death and Taxes, which it looks like it is. Into a Mom. I think I have to kill that. So we will go ahead and grab a Plains off of this one, plow the Mom. We will grab a Mountain off of the Mesa and play the Agate Investigator, I believe. Grab a Mountain, cast this for normal. This way, when we play a Johnny next turn, we can actually get 2 pings off of it, assuming they don't kill it. If we draw another white source, we can a Johnny and we can Ocelot Pride. Or if we wanted to get real cheeky, we could try actually putting some mana into a Jacked Rabbit, so that when it attacks, I get some extra dudes out of it and extra pings off of Agate. But luckily, this kind of restricts their mana denial plan here. Ooh, a Ganjo. Interesting. Like, I honestly would not hate them just dropping a Thalia here. We don't really have many non-creature spells in the deck. We've got, like, our 8 removal spells and a War Leader's Call. Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, so they're going to try to race, I guess. I wouldn't mind another removal spell here now. Yeah, grab the Cauldra. Yeah, another removal spell would be nice here. Preferably Discharge. Harper Recruiter. Okay, well, I guess we're just going to have to try to go for... Yeah, we're just going to get some damage in here. I was thinking maybe try to knock them off of one of their lands, but it's probably not worth it. If I end up paying for it, I end up paying for it. I've just got to hope that I can go wide enough that I can race this Cauldron, basically. Like, I probably should have wastelanded the Iganjo and then played this off the red and the black, but I want them to think that maybe I have removal to see how this plays out a little bit. See if I can bait them into doing something they shouldn't do. Alright, so I couldn't bait them into anything that they weren't going to do, so chances are they're probably just going to drop Cauldron, start swinging in. Which, if that's all they do for the turn, that's actually not terrible. Unfortunately, I'm going to need a Swords to Plowshares. Okay, so it didn't matter if I had gone after their mana anyways. They had another land, which I kind of had a feeling was the case. Oh, and they have the Swords to Plowshares. Okay, that's very not good. But they're holding back and not Cauldron yet? Does that mean they have Batterskull? I'm thinking that means they have Batterskull. Which at this point, I'm still not in a great place to be able to try to go after anything here. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and cast this. My best bet at this point, I think, is just to shit things onto the battlefield and try to win via the Agate Instigators. But if they just have Batterskull here in addition to Cauldron, I think that's just game over. No, it's just Cauldron. It's interesting that they didn't do that on their turn. Unfortunately, I am very much falling behind in terms of mana. That is one thing I found with this deck is, like, since there's no manipulation of any kind really in the deck, the mana situation is really weird. And there's no point in blocking this since it's got Trample. So I'll just take my 5. Like, I can theoretically swing back for 4. They are technically winning this race currently. And White Orchid Phantom. Okay, that actually can help me with my colors. Okay, that's fine. I need more white mana anyways. However, I'm still in a really, really bad spot in general. We hit a Wasteland. What can I do here? I have the mana to be able to both Ocelot Pride. Like, this is still a very, very bad spot to be in. But being able to hit another land actually wasn't the worst thing in the world. And then we are going to represent some kind of air here. So there's no point in swinging into any of this. This stupid thing has first strike. We're actually in a position where if we could hit one of those wildfire thingies, we actually might be able to burn them out of the game. Velia, okay. I'm curious what they blink. Probably White Orchid Phantom. Like, if we hit that wildfire convoke thing, we might actually have enough here to be able to kill them with just the dudes coming onto the battlefield. Like, I'm assuming they just get in Blink the White Orchid Phantom so that they have a flying blocker back up again. No. Getting it with Felia. Do they blink the cat token? What do they blink here? They're blinking Stoneforge Mystic. And this is prevent the next 2 damage that would be dealt to Felia. So if I triple block it, is it worth giving up this Cat Warrior to be able to do it? I think it is. I think this is worth the Cat Warrior here to be able to triple block this thing. Because they can only block 2 of it, right? Yeah. They can only block 2 or prevent 2 of the damage. So, I mean, this is a blowout if they have a removal spell, but... Okay, doesn't seem like it. And I'm assuming this means they are going to go get a Batterskull now. So, a removal spell off the top would still be nice. They get their Stoneforge back. So, yeah, I'm assuming this is a Batterskull. If we could get a Batterskull to take this out, or some kind of removal spell to take this out would be nice. Aether Hub, that doesn't really do it. Yeah, I think we just play this and then run out the Jackrabbit for as much mana as I can here. And hope there's some weird combination of things that can happen where... Because this is going to equal 6 damage. Yeah, I think I need the Wildfire Mentor to be able to do anything here. But we'll see what happens. And they have another Felia, okay. That probably means they blink the Jackrabbit. Either that or they're going to blink the Stoneforge and find another, whatchamacallit? Wasteland. Okay, that's fine. I don't really care about that. However, this does mean Hardcast Solitude is the thing that could happen here. And it looks like it is. What are they going... And they blink the Solitude. Yeah, we're done here. I don't think we can possibly come back from this, unfortunately. They just started out too aggro. Already off to a rough start for the Boros energy. What was our next card? Yeah, we were winning that one. Okay. So there's actually a part of me that wants to bring in this stuff here. I don't know if they're going to be on Aether Vial or not. There's also something to be said about Harsh Mentor punishing them as well. I think maybe because of all of the lands that they got, maybe bring in all this kind of stuff. Let's take out the Jackrabbits. In general, when I've been playing this, I've kind of just been taking out some of the higher end stuff. So, like, taking out all the Jackrabbits, it seems like the worst card in the deck, and then taking out just some of the Harper recruiters, and then bringing in my hay pieces. So, like, the Harsh Mentors will be able to punish them for using Aether Vials and for using Stoneforge Mystic and stuff like that. Price of Progress, we saw a shitload of non-basics. Price of Progress actually might have won us that game if we had it last time, so let's try something like this. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Give me a good hand deck. So, like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, this is a fantastic hand if it had another land. And is it worth risking not getting lands? You know what? For the sake of science, we're going to try this. It is non-waste landable, and if we ever hit a second land, specifically a red land, this hand is great. We can also Swords whatever their first play is. Aether Vial. Okay, so they are on a Vial build. Just give me some lands, deck. Land? And this is what I'm saying about you get punished if you don't keep a 2-lander. Like, this is exactly what I was talking about. I mean, luckily, Ocelot Pride is kind of a army in a can. We'll see what happens here, though. Hopefully they don't have removal for it, otherwise we have literally nothing going on. Okay, Mom. We probably need to get rid of that, unfortunately. Like, we just can't let them have that. Land? Thank God. Okay, we hit a land. The question becomes is, do we Amped Raptor? Or do we hold up the Galvanic Discharge? They can drop a 1-drop here. Ajani does a lot, though. Amped Raptor can do a ton, too. Let's get in, see what they do first. I think we just need to do what can put the most bodies on the battlefield. Yeah, let's just Ajani this turn. This might bait a removal spell onto the Ajani. And it gets us 2 bodies to get closer to the City's Blessing, and we just hope that we can out-aggro the opponent here. Luckily, they did not vial in a, whatchamacallit there, Mom. Like, that was my biggest hesitation, because I thought about possibly leaving up Galvanic Discharge just in case they vialed in a Mom. So we'll see what happens from here. We do have quite the board. Oh, and they kept a 1-lander? Okay, I feel a little bit better now about what's going on. I would love another red source. Okay, so I've got multiple removal spells. I am just going to hold that up and keep trying to push my advantage here. Because we can remove two creatures here. Like, if they vial something in, we can remove that. Oh, okay, this is somehow working. There's also a world where if I want to flip a Johnny, I could discharge my own creature. I still don't quite have the city's blessing here. And then if this is a Stoneforge Mystic, I will discharge it. I want to hold the Swords of Plowshares in case they put something bigger in. Or they're just ticking up their vials still. I'm curious what they're trying to get up to. Wow, okay, so apparently our opponent is getting punished for the one-lander that we did not. What is in their hand? I'm honestly kind of surprised they didn't play that. Well, we're going to stick with the plan here and just keep swinging out. This Price of Progress is good for 2 damage. And I absolutely cannot drop my protection here. Or my interaction. It's funny that I have gotten a cat every single turn. I still don't have the city's blessing. What are they dropping in here for 3? A Flicker Wisp. Do I care? They're flickering their own Aether Vial. Okay. Color me confused. I'm very confused. Yeah, go ahead and hit me for 3. That's fine. I really don't know what our opponent's doing. I really, really don't. They did finally hit their second land. But yeah, I really don't know what our opponent is doing here. Okay, our opponent is solituding, pitching a Mother of Runes. Do they have like an Ephemerate to try to flicker this? Is that what's going on? Okay, they're going after a Johnny, which is... actually, if I want to get really cheeky here, I could actually, like, discharge my cap, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna let that happen. I don't really care about that. And then a Ratha. Ooh. That is interesting. Okay. Okay. Well, luckily we still get to keep our... whatchamacallit here. Lands? No. Agate Instigator. Actually, if I play this attack... well, let's get in with the Ocelot Pride. This gets them down to 4. Yeah, I think we're just gonna do this. This is gonna get them down to 3, and then any one other damage I can do, I can kill them with Price of Progress, or if they play another non-basic land, I can just kill them with it outright. So it feels weird tapping out here, but being as they only have 4 cards in hand, and I don't think that they can instant speed in like a Calder or something, I think we're actually pretty safe here. Okay, Ghost Quarter's fine. They can kill that in response to a Price of Progress, or they don't. What are they getting here? If it's not a Solitude, I think I just win. Okay, it is a Solitude. Let's see if we can get them to Solitude one of our creatures. Or another Agate Instigator. That puts them to 2. Because what? They can flash it in, block both of these. The board is clear. Or I actually don't hate this. Let's go ahead and evoke this. This puts 2 more bodies on the board. Actually, that puts 3 bodies on the board, and they're just dead? Yeah, this puts 3 bodies on the board, and they're just dead to these triggers. Unless they kill the Agate Instigator now and blow their Solitude. Which it looks like they're doing, and they got rid of a White Orchid Phantom. But now they've got to deal with everything that's still on the board, and these just need to be turned sideways, and they die. So I still like where we're at here. I think we're going to get this one. This still could go very wrong somehow. No, okay, they scoop it up. They see they're dead. Holy shit, I can't believe that worked. Yeah, I cannot believe that worked. That being said, do we want to change anything? They definitely have a lot of non-basics I wasn't anticipating. That being said, they have so many ways to go get basics. I still don't think it's worth bringing in the Maguses here. I think we just run this back. Yeah, maybe we bring the Containment Priest in and take out War Leader's Call and Harper Recruiter here, just so we have a little more game against their Blinky stuff. Yeah, let's try something like that. Alright, this is completely unkeepable. We gotta ship that one. Okay, I like this. Opponent mulliganed as well. So I'm thinking turn 1 Guide of Souls, turn 2 Harsh Mentor, go to town. We're keeping this. Let's put the Sunbait Canyon back for now. Okay, ooh, there's black mana. Okay. Starting out on a shadowy backstreet. Been to land, so mana is not a concern for them this game. I think we just stick with the plan here. Go grab a plains, play Guide of Souls, and then assuming this lives, do we want a Harsh Mentor next turn, or do we want to Amped Raptor? I think it's going to depend on what they do. White Orchid Phantom. Okay, that's fine. I think we're going to Amped Raptor then. Ooh, they're ramping themselves. Okay. That is definitely a choice. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and Amped Raptor. Ooh, I like that. But yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and Amped Raptor. Get our mana from our Aether Hub so that we know that we can play literally anything. Whoops. I'm actually stupid. I should not have done it this way. I mean, it works either way. We're going to have 3 mana regardless. Or 3 energy regardless to be able to cast literally anything that we hit. Hit a Johnny. I like that. Okay, just flood the board at this point. I like that a lot. They are in a position where, in theory, if they had a Wrath of the Skies, they could wipe the board, but they'd have to wipe their side as well. And we've got more creatures to be able to rebuild. And I've got enough mana to be able to jump something as well. Shocking that in. Interesting. What do they need for 4 mana? Is this going to be a Wrath of the Skies just to wipe the board? Skyclave Apparition. Okay. We have an answer for that. I'm assuming they go after the Ajani. Yes, they do. Okay. I'm okay with that. That's fine. Okay, get in for 2. That's totally fine. They are down to 3 cards. They don't have any kind of card advantage engines the way we do. Let's go get a basic here. Oh, where is my mountain? I exiled all of my mountains. Holy shit. Okay. That was not what I was thinking, but okay. Well, I guess we cast this then. And then we'll move to combat. We will jump the Raptor. We actually will offer up this trade if they want. And then I'm going to jump the Raptor. I actually would really like... Okay, so they have a Swords. That's fine. I'm still going to offer up this trade. I was kind of hoping that was a Solitude. They're just going to take it. Okay. We have removal of our own. We are winning this race. Another White Orchid Phantom. Okay. They're going to blow up one of our lands is the question. No, they're choosing not to blow up anything? I guess they just wanted a body on the battlefield, which is understandable. I'm just debating if I want to kill the Skyclave Apparition now to get a body out of it and get some more energy, but I think I'm going to wait. We can always Swords it on my turn if we need to. Another Agate Instigator. I like that. I could cast it with Offspring. Actually, is that better? Yeah, I think it's actually better to cast this with Offspring. Because now this means that our Harsh Mentor is going to do even more damage, and I can jump this fucking... I can jump something here. Because this is going to give us... Well, no, I can't. It's only going to give us 2 mana. Okay, if they're going to kill one of the Agate Instigators, we are running them out of removal, which I'm pretty okay with. They're down to 1 card in hand, but they do have an army of flyers. But we're at a point where we kind of just want to try to run them out of stuff to do here. So next turn we play a Harsh Mentor. It hits them for 2. And they keep giving us life back, so we still have a pretty healthy life total. And they can't just totally swing out, because we do have actual bodies to attack with here. Like I said, we could actually get rid of the Skyclave to get a body back, and then it ends up being neutral damage-wise. If they start getting aggressive with these White Orchid Phantoms. Recruiter of the Guard for what? Are they going to grab another Solitude? I would not hate if this was a Stoneforge Mystic, honestly. Felia. Okay, so they're going to start trying to blink things. Got it. And are they just going to hold... Yes, they're just going to hold back. That is fine. Prismatic Vista. That doesn't really do what I want here. But let's just get some damage in. This is also going to let me jump something. Alright, get some damage in here. Get our energy. I think I'm going to jump our cat. Well, no, hold on. If I jump the cat... They can double block it with the White Orchid Phantoms. If I jump the Souls, I at least get to kill one of them. Yeah, I think I'm going to jump the Souls. The Guide of Souls here. Because this means even if they double block, I can kill one of them. I actually could kill both of these, but then I lose my swords, and Felia can start doing dumb shit. Is this okay? I got 1 more turn to be able to start trying to find an answer for Felia. Yeah, I think I just let this go, kill one of them. Or actually, shit, no, they both. Damn it! I don't know why I was thinking it was the other way around. Whatever, it happens. Because I still need to be able to kill Felia or whatever they decide to try to blink with it. That was a massive punt on my part, which is fine. I don't know why I was thinking the math was different, that they only had 3 power. Alright, so they're getting in with the White Orchid Phantoms, which is fine. I'll take 4. Yes, no, maybe? No. Okay. The problem is like, I have to go after the Felia itself is the biggest problem here. Is this a Wrath of the Skies? No, it's Yorion into hand. So that they can try to blink everything? Alright, I need to find an answer to this, like, now. Grab this. Alright, I need something good here. Amped Raptor is a good start. Let's start with that. See what we can hit off of this. Unfortunately, if we hit a 3-drop, we can't cast any of it. Deal our damage. Hit something good off of Amped Raptor, please. Okay, that is good. I think our biggest problem is them flickering Recruiter of the Guard. I think that's probably the thing that scares me the most here. I actually very much would have liked a Containment Priest there. And then we just pass the turn here. They can get Felia in, that's totally fine. Because the big thing is going to be blinking. They're going to try to blink something here, but I think what we want to do here is kill the Skyclave Apparition. Because none of these other ETBs particularly matter. Like, it's whatever. See what they do here. And they're blinking Skyclave Apparition. We need to swords that. And then we can block the Felia. Why did I get the I did get the damage off of those. Okay. I was going to say, I should have gotten damage off of those. Let's try blocking the Felia, see what happens here. Hopefully they don't have... Okay, Felia's down. They can go ahead and blink their White Orchids, but they're not... What are they doing? Do they have a Solitude? Is that what's going on here? How does this go wrong? Alright, get the damage off of the Agitators. Okay, if they have a Solitude, that's the only way that I see this going wrong at the moment. So we're just going to go ahead, get in with the Amped Raptor, and jump it. Because they do have Hardcast Solitude mana. Okay, it is a Hardcast Solitude, which is annoying, but not the end of the world. We can block that. Unless they just... Like, they're going to have to decide between blinking it. I don't know. That Wildfire Mentor would actually be great here. I'm pretty sure like a Wildfire Mentor off the top with Convoke just wins the game here. I feel like they should attack before they go and try to blink anything. Alright, they're not getting the Solitude in. They want to blink it. I can't do anything about this, which is fine. And now they're gonna play Yorion, blink the Solitude, probably. Here, they're just gonna blink their whole board. They can get rid of one creature here. I think the correct thing is get rid of one of the Agate Agitators. And they can blow up some lands. That's mostly fine, I think. Yeah, they're going after one of the Agate Agitators. And choosing not to blow up any lands. Okay, that's fine. Like I said, I still think a Wildfire Mentor here just wins the game. Amped Raptor. This allows me to hit or cast anything I hit. Put this on the bottom. This is a much closer match than I was expecting. Okay, Ajani's good. I like that. I like Ajani a lot. Put that on the bottom. This. And then I'm kind of free to attack with this cat. Because they're not going to want to let it die. So yeah, this cat is just a free attack here. Yes, we're gonna jump it. Like, they're in a position where they really don't want to let this cat die. What? This is death. Like, unless they have Solitude White card as their last 2 cards to kill this, this is just death. 0, kill the opponent? Because I can do this to the face? Holy shit, we got there! I cannot believe that worked. Holy shit. Good games, opponent. Good games. All right, on to the next one. All right, won the die roll in round 3. Let's go. Give me a good hand deck. Yeah, I like this. Let's go ahead and keep this. I think we're just going to start off with Mountain Pass, turn 2, Aether Hub into Ampharaptor. There's something to be said about playing out the Agitator first, but we'll see. Opponent kept on 7 as well. Not sure what they're playing here. I do not recognize the name. Ancient Tomb, Lotus Petal, oh boy. Seething, what the fuck? Seething Song in a Storm deck? What are we up against? Oh, it's Ruby Storm. I mean, I guess we'll see what they can do from here. They need card draw. Lost a flip. Okay, there's Burning Wish. Are they just going to make a shitload of goblins? Transformed Ral. Okay. I'm guessing this is just going to be a shitload of goblins, if I had to take a guess. Oh, Elemental Eruption. Yeah, we're fucked. Alright, we're just going to go to the next one before we tell them we have anything else going on here. So many Storm decks today. Alright. What do we have up against this version of Storm? Up against Ruby Storm? I don't think we have anything. Like, maybe Price of Progress to try to cheese them out? Take out the Jacked Rabbits? And try something like that? And basically we just gotta keep a hand that has Disruption for the Ral. Or the Burgie, whichever they have. Yeah, this deck seems very, very weak against combo. Like, there's basically no interaction with it from what it looks like. This is a Galvanic. I think we're going to keep this. Again, risky one-lander, but hopefully they just don't have the turn 1 into a Ral again, because I'm going to try to drop the Ocelot Pride so I can start making land, or making life back. And hopefully we draw into another colored mana source. And hopefully they have a slower hand. Alright, they kept on 5. Play this, play an Ocelot Pride, and hope we just don't get turn 1. Okay, Ruby Medallion. So they have a Ral that I can't kill. Just give me some lands? Nope, that is not a land. Okay, we are paying for the one-lander. Probably shouldn't have kept this hand, but we'll see. Because I'm just holding up this Galvanic Discharge basically forever now. Manamorphose, that's a ritual. Draws into a card. Like, we kind of just gotta hope that their card draw doesn't do anything, really. 4 mana. Into another Ruby Medallion. Into a Burning Wish. For what? What are they wishing for here? Galvanic Relay. Okay, so just like a small relay. See what they hit. Land. Reckless Impulse. Petal. Ew. That's gross. Okay. Yeah, that's bad. That's real bad. Basically, I mean, a Swords gets rid of something, but yeah, I should not have kept this one-lander. Like, that's the problem with this deck, is some of these look like they should be really, really good hands, and they just don't work out because you get fucked on mana. That being said, our opponent has been doing a ton of damage to themselves, but they're about to just pop off here. Like, we're looking at Elemental Eruption for a minimum of probably 5 at this point. And that's not even the one from Exile. Their only limiting factor at this point is Lotus Petal, but they can then just as will for a shitload of mana. Oh, and they have a mountain anyways. Yeah, we're dead here. There's no way we come back from this. They can just pop off a bunch of shit. Yep, because they're about to get a ton of mana. Gonna bonus round, which is gonna give them 2 more Reckless Impulses. We just gotta hope that they like whiff here, but they're still gonna be able to Elemental Eruption for. Yeah, we're done here. We're just gonna scoop it up. There's no way that we come back from this because their creatures are just gonna be too big. What is up with the resurgence of Storm lately? Like, everyone was saying like, oh, Storm is so bad in the current meta, but apparently not. But all right, on to the next one. Round 4, and we're up against the Burninator Trogdor itself. Let's go. Burninate in the countryside. For any of you other millennials that grew up watching Strong Bad Emails. I was talking with my neighbors the other day about like the old memes on the internet, like before social media really took off, and it was going to like homestarrunner.com and like eBombs World and stuff like that, and we literally just sat there like watching a bunch of Strong Bad Emails that day. But I like this hand. We can Ocelot Pride into Ocelot Pride, or Ocelot Pride into Cradle, or Ocelot Pride into Ampharaptor, but we're gonna go grab a basic, play Ocelot Pride, and hope it's enough. Okay, I haven't seen a ton of Tamiyo, but in general, so like Tamiyo is annoying in the sense that it stonewalls a lot of my creatures, But these blue-based decks in general struggle with go-wide decks like what we're trying to do here. However, like I said, because a lot of our creatures only have 1 power, like, a flip Tamiyo is a giant pain in the ass to get through. And we're just hoping that we don't get dazed here. Alright, so they might be trying to flip their Tamiyo next turn. Because this is going to be 2 draws at least, so any cantrip gets them there. Opponent says, yes, I love it. Well, opponent, I love it as well. Hopefully we can stop this Tamiyo from flipping next turn. We are going to grab a basic because we don't want to get wastelanded out of the game. And now that they know about one of these amped raptors, we might go ahead and play that first. But any cantrip now flips Tamiyo and kind of stonewalls this Ocelot Pride. Just chatting with the opponent here. They play Energy in Modern a lot, so kind of just saying they've tested out a little bit in Legacy as well. So kind of just chatting with the opponent, really. If they have another land, they also can flip the Tamiyo as well, just by cracking this clue. Opponent is saying, like, yeah, flip Tamiyo kind of stonewalls your cat. I'm like, yeah, I know. And yeah, they're just going to crack the clue to flip the Tamiyo. So we're going to have to try to go above that. So I think with that being said, we're going to go ahead and Amped Raptor here. Guide of Souls is actually interesting. I think we actually do that first. Like, I actually like... Ooh, Force of Will on Guide of Souls. Okay. That kind of shut off what my game plan was now, but... I need to pressure this Tamiyo next turn, then. And a Nethergoyf. Yeah, this Tamiyo is going to get to ultimate, I think. I don't think I'm going to be able to get around this unless I hit really good off of this Amped Raptor. Or I draw a removal spell for the Goyf. Yeah, let's Amped Raptor. Like, it's just weird how this is going here. Like, unfortunately, they got that Tamiyo down. Oh, that actually works, I guess. Get rid of that. We might as well play out the Ocelot Pride. Grab another Plains, play the Ocelot Pride. Hope they don't have a way to deal with this Amped Raptor so I can at least ping. Hard casting a Daze. Okay. I'd rather it be on that than something else more important here. But the hope is that they don't have a way to deal with this Amped Raptor. And I can at least, like, keep Tamiyo in check for a turn. So far it's just land, so that's good. Unfortunately now, even if I hit Tamiyo, it's probably not going to work. Agate Instigator is normally pretty good here. I need to just run this out and hope that I hit something to be able to hit this Tamiyo. Like, a Discharge to drop it down a bit would be nice. Into a Jacked Rabbit. Yeah, we're dead. Because this is a -7. Well, we'll see. We're going to see if they want to lose their Tamiyo to draw half of their deck. I'm assuming they're going to, but you never know. Because as soon as they have half of their deck in their hand, I don't think I can win anymore. At least give them the option if they want to lose the Tamiyo in the process, so that they can't stonewall my cards anymore. So we'll see what's more important to them at this point. I'm assuming they're just going to draw half of their deck here. And then I'm not resolving anything for the rest of the game. Yes, they decided to draw half of their deck. My only hope is that they just can't draw enough removal spells to deal with the board. Fatal Push on a Johnny. Like, I know you're asking for a lot at that point, but that's really my only hope here. And, yeah, they got it. Like, I figured maybe there's a chance they did get enough removal, but... Opponent was commenting on our board, saying it was quite the board there, but yeah, just a little too slow to keep Tamiyo in check. That being said, what our opponent is doing, let's bring in all of this and take out the Jacked Rabbits and the Recruiters. And let's take out the Warrior's Call. Just drop our curve a bit. They have a lot of non-basics. Our Price of Products could be good. Harsh Mentor seems pretty good to punish them for using Tamiyo, so let's try that. Alright. Being on the play should help. Get on the board a little bit quicker. Oh my god, this is another one of those, like, if this had more than one land, this would be great. But I'm not going to die to the, whatchamacallit again. We'll keep this. I don't think we need the Price of Progress right now. This at least gets stuff on the board a little bit faster. Unfortunately, it all stonewalls, or get stonewalled by Tamio, but at least we have a way to get life and trigger Ocelot Pride even if we can't attack with it. This also means that we can like start jumping things and giving them extra power to be able to get through a Tamio. And okay, they're pushing the souls. Okay, opponent. Alright. Luckily, we can play this Ocelot Pride around a days, no problem. We will just play that out, get our energy, and get down our Ocelot Pride. And then we basically just gotta hope that they don't have even more removal. Or they don't have Tamio into Brainstorm, flip it, and then I'm completely stonewalled again. Okay, Brainstorm before Tamio. So that's good. However, I need some more gas here is the problem. Especially if they have another removal spell for this Ocelot Pride. Which it looks like they probably do. No, Nethergoyf, okay. Removal for Nethergoyf, some other kind of action would be good. Instead we draw land, and we can't do anything. Yeah, I'm feeling the not playing blue decks lately, not having any kind of like manipulation or card draw is real rough currently. That being said, I am glad that like I'm seeing so many non-grief blue decks running around currently. Like I like that in the leagues, people are just wanting to have fun and actively not playing Riskaminator. Like, that actually is very refreshing, at least, that it seems like the community in general has had enough of grief that they're voluntarily not playing it. However, our opponent's hand is going to be fantastic. They can get pretty much whatever they want. I am going to fetch in my upkeep to deck thin marginally, because we have more lands than we could ever possibly need at this point. And their Nethergoyf is a 3-4 now. But I'm guessing this means they don't have a removal spell if they're not attacking in with it. Because they don't want to risk me being able to get creatures. Because if they had a removal spell, they 100% would have jumped in there and attacked, because they could just kill the Ocelot Pride in the back crack. Alright. Like I said, marginally deck thin. Let's grab a mountain, because I have less of those. Into a wasteland. Ugh. Okay. Well, we're just gonna do the same thing again. Well, we're cracking our upkeep to thin. Yeah, our opponent is just going to have so much interaction that I don't think we're resolving another spell this game at this point. Yep, and there goes our creature. Yeah. I just don't know how we realistically get back in this now. Because there's no way they don't have hard counters currently. And we have no way to draw additional cards. Luckily, we can get around soft permission pretty well, but... Oh my god! Oh, alright. I'll give this one more draw step. Alright, well, we'll give this one more draw and see what happens here. I should have played a land that turn, but it's whatever. I'm out of this game. They're gonna have way too much interaction to be able to slog through at this point. Into a Price of Progress. Okay. That's good for 6 damage. We'll fire that off if we need to, like... But this one's over. We're not getting back into it. There's no way that they're going to get up to 9 non-basic lands for me to be able to kill them with a Price of Progress, and them not having some kind of interaction for it either. Like, it's just not happening. Wildfire Mentor, yeah, we're done. Because I can try to get that down. It's going to get countered, so we will try to play it. But it is 100% getting countered. I will play it around a daze, just so they have to use a hard counter on it. Holy shit, it resolved? Alright, I've got some chump blockers then. I don't know why they would have let that resolve. I mean, they can kill it with literally whatever, unless they just, like, have a bunch of removal spells in hand. Like, yeah, I'll just kill everything. Opponent's like, a bit flooded? I'm like, yes, very. I'm assuming this is a powder keg. Okay, I guess that's one reason why they would have let it resolve. Yep, there go my tokens. This is a 4-5. We're gonna block it, unfortunately. Well, no. Because there is a world where if I draw a discharge, I can actually discharge this, and now Moto's freaking out. Yeah, we'll just take our 4 here. There is a world where if we draw a discharge, we can block and discharge to try to kill this to stay alive a little bit longer. But again, it's probably not going to be enough. Guide of Souls. We'll play it. See what happens. Yeah, this... We'll probably chump block with the Wildfire Awakener here if we get the chance. I also might just fire off this Price of Progress for the hell of it and die to a Lightning Bolt. Opponent plays Underground Sewers. Yeah, I just gotta trade off. Or not even trade off, just chump block here. Like, Source of Plowshares is the only thing that's gonna deal with this thing now. I need something that puts multiple bodies on the battle. That is a swords, I guess. Price of Progress is now off unless I want to go out on my own terms. Which I'm holding that in my back pocket. I might go out on my own terms here. We'll see. All right, let's see if this works. They have to have a counter for this. There's no way they don't. Hardcast Force of Will? Yes. Okay, so I guess I'm in chump block again. This does give me an out to another Swords to Plowshares to try to kill it. So like Amped Raptor into swords, a sword, something that puts multiple bodies on the battlefield so that I can. Nope, that is a wasteland. And opponent, I hope you come and watch this on YouTube. I'm going out on my own terms. Going out on my own terms. Alright, hopefully you see this opponent. Good games. Fortunately we're on the losing record for energy, but let's go to the last round and see if we can get half of our entry fee back. Good game. Okay, so there was something seriously messed up with my recording software today. Not only did the mic not want to work in game one, it did not register me clicking at all to record this entire match. So we're going to go ahead and just play, and I'll give you a recap. So basically, opponent won the die roll. I didn't like the first hand because it didn't have enough colored mana. This one, I'm like, okay, cool. I've got all the colors I need. I've got multiple mana. We can go Soul Guide Land or Guide of Souls into something and go from there. Opponent starts off with a basic forest. I'm like, okay, interesting. Since they played out a mana dork, I decided, okay, I'm gonna try to restrict their mana. Whatever happens here, I'm just gonna Swords to Plowshares it before they can use it for anything and hope that I can play the mana denial game between that and Wasteland. So end up fetching out a basic, end up finding out that that was not going to end up working because they had more mana, but I'm like, okay, I got a Wasteland to be able to deal with this thing, and then they play out another mana dork. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take out the guy's Cradle and just kind of hope that that works. Then our opponent has a Talon Gates, doesn't flash anything out, plays out another Elvish Reclaimer, passes the turn. I'm like, okay, they can go get another Cradle if they want to here, and I really can't do anything about it. So I decide, okay, Guide of Souls into Ocelot Pride, start trying to go aggro if I can. And at this point, they decide to go tutor up another Gaia's Cradle. So I'm like, alright, well, it's Cradle combo, Cradle control, whatever the hell you want to call this deck nowadays. And I'm like, alright, I basically just got to dodge them having a, whatchamacallit, a natural word here, but they Cradle into Cradle. And at this point, I'm like, okay, maybe this is a Craterhoof Behemoth from hand? But it's a Green Sun for 7, so, okay, Green Sun for 7, that means that they're going to go grab an Atraxa. Opponent gets their Atraxa, I'm like, okay, technically a Swords to Plowshares isn't out here. Opponent reveals 10 cards, I just take a look at what they got here, so it's pretty typical Cradle combo stuff here. Nothing that can get them out of a Swords to Plowshares if I end up grabbing it. So they get in for their 6. It's basically Swords to Plowshares or bust at this point. So I'm like, I got one draw, see what I can hit, see if I hit Swords to Plowshares. And I draw another Ocelot Pride and scoop it up. On to game 2. As far as sideboarding is concerned, at this point I'm thinking, okay, I need to bring in Containment Priest to stop Natural Orders and Green Sun Zenith. And I'm going to bring in Magus of the Moon to try to shut off what they are doing land-wise and their cheaty lands. I end up just taking out the Jackrabbits like I do every time. It's just the worst card and it's higher up on the mana curve. So 4 in, 4 out, on to the next game. Okay, sideboarded up, on the play here. I know what I'm looking for hate-wise. I see this hand, and it's got no colored mana, cannot keep it, auto-ship. This hand, I'm like, okay, I can only get one color of mana, but I've got all of my white hate cards, so we're going to go ahead and keep this. I end up deciding that the Agate Instigator needs to go to the bottom. We're going to start out with turn 1 Prismatic Vista into a Plains to go get Guide of Souls online, because I'm not super scared of their turn 1 play. It can't do anything too crazy, and it lets me hold up Containment Priest for turn 2. Opponent does Once Upon a Time. Ends up finding a Nantucket. I'm like, okay. Play a land. Green Sun for 0. Would have been nice to be able to get this with the Containment Priest, but you can't do that on turn 1 with this deck, so it's like, okay, whatever. So at this point, I'm kind of thinking, like, alright. that Nantucko is going to be a problem. I draw a basic, which is nice. So now I have 2 removal spells up. I kind of waffle back and forth whether or not I want to kill the Dryad Arbor now. The problem is if they bestow the Nantucko onto the Dryad Arbor, even if I kill the Dryad Arbor, the Nantucko still gets onto the battlefield. So it kind of ends up accomplishing almost nothing. But I decide to swing in. They're not going to block anyways. And then I decide I'm just going to kill this now, get it out of the way, hope that maybe they don't have another land. I know it's asking a lot, but I'd rather not have to, like, basically let them get a free Nantucko one way or another, but they get a non-basic Bayou, play a white of the Reliquary. I'm like, okay, I got a Swords to Plowshares to be able to take care of that. Probably should have swordsed it right then and there, but I was kind of trying to see if I could draw another white source. So I end up swordsing it on my turn, but kind of accomplishes the same thing. Just get in for my damage. And I end up passing the turn. I'm feeling the restriction on only having 1 of each color mana here. They get their Nantucko down in a fetch land, so I'm like, okay, well, my ground attacks are blocked now. Not really anything I can do here, so now I'm just kind of sitting back and hoping that I top deck some stuff here. I think about flashing in the Containment Priest here, just in case they were going to go get a Dryad Arbor. But I decided it's not worth it, because I have to get it in before they get the Dryad Arbor, so I can't, like, got them with it sort of thing. So I decided to just let them grab their land. If it ends up being a Dryad Arbor, it ends up being a Dryad Arbor, so be it. They just get another basic, another body. I get into Johnny. I'm kind of just thinking at this point, like, I need to just get on board. So I play the Ajani to get some bodies on board, make it so that at least their attacks are kind of bad. This also allows me to get in with Guide of Souls and jump it. I do decide, okay, I'm going to try to restrict them on mana. At least keep them off of black in case it's actually relevant for something, and start getting aggro. So I jump the Guide of Souls to start trying to get in here. Pass the turn. Opponent has an Ignoble. Layer of the Hydra. I'm like, okay, well, a Magus here would be sweet. But I got a Warren Instigator instead. At this point, I'm like, okay, I really need more mana. I have multiple things I could do here, but I think the correct thing to do... I figure the cat attack is free. I honestly should have attacked with both, but I didn't. I wasn't going to be blocking anything anyways, so... But I get in there with the cat because I figure it's a free attack. And I kind of waffle if I want to play Agate Instigator, if I want to play Guide of Souls to try to get some more life total back. But I'm like, I'm just going to pass a turn. I really want to get them on a Green Sun Zenith or a Natural Order. And they tap for a bunch of mana, so I'm like, okay, cool, I got them. I'm going to flash this Containment Priest in. Like, this is the moment I was waiting for. Opponent pays all of their mana, and then I'm the chump, and they put it into Lair of the Hydra. I'm like, oh, god damn it, okay. So they get in, I'm like, alright, whatever. I'll take my 7. That's fine, I guess. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm just flashing in this Containment Priest. I'm not holding it up anymore. There's no reason not to. So, drop that into play. Pass the turn, untap. There's the Magus of the Moon without a land. I'm like, all right, screw it. We're throwing Agate Instigator in. I'm just getting bodies on the board so that I can start bringing them. Get some energy. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to get in with both here. I can jump the Containment Priest. I'm not blocking with it. I'm leaving the Cat Warrior back to block. This also puts them on a 2-turn clock. So as long as I'm not dead, I can pull this off. So I'm like, okay, what could do this here? So I have 3 blockers. I'm thinking, okay, I think this needs to be exactly 3 Legolas's Quick Reflexes on the Springheart Nantucko. Or not the Springheart Nantucko, the Lair of the Hydra to be able to win here. Because they need to be able to target it, tap it once, kill one of these, cast another one to untap it, tap it again, kill the other one, cast another one, tap it again to kill the last one. Which, I see them start throwing all the mana into the Lair of the Hydra. I'm like, okay, their last 3 cards have to be Legolas's Quick Reflexes in order for this to be able to work. Like, that has to be the last 3 cards. So our opponent dumps all their mana into Lair of the Hydra, animates it. There's 1. I'm like, alright, their last 2 cards have to be it. They kill, they pay mana. There's 2. I'm like, you've got to be shitting me. There's no way they have a 3rd one there. Like, no way. So they end up killing my Agate Instigator first. Okay, so it didn't show you what actually happened here. Basically what happened was they targeted it with the second Legolas's Quick Reflexes as they were tapping it for mana to pay for it. So their first Legolas's Quick Reflex trigger killed my Agate Instigator. The second one untapped it, and then they went into combat and attacked again. And it actually put 2 of the Legolas's Quick Reflexes triggers on the stack, which I honestly did not realize that ability, the when you tap this creature, deal damage, I did not know that stacked. So they were able to ping both a Johnny and the cat with that while they were in the attacker phase, and between the 10/10 Hydra and the 5 other creatures, it was Xaxes. I had no idea that ability stacked, but they ended up hitting me for Xaxes the turn before I was about to win, so I mean, sometimes it just doesn't go your way, and today was definitely not Energy's day. But, oh well, good game, opponent, good game. Oh man, so that was a rough one. I'm just going to caveat this league with the league did not go at all the way that it did when I was practicing in the practice rooms here. So my wrap up here is going to be my experience with the deck overall, not just through the course of that league. Overall, the deck does feel very powerful. It feels very synergistic, but it feels very inconsistent. Not having blue or any kind of way to like manipulate your draws or have any sort of real card advantage, this deck is very much relying on you having a critical mass of spells that synergize with each other to be able to actually do things. And when it works, it is fantastic. It feels unbeatable. You overrun your opponent super fast. But as you saw in a couple of those games, we get mana screwed, we get mana flooded. Our opponents are able to overwhelm our creatures to the point where we run out of a critical mass of what we need to do. It definitely felt when I was practicing it that it really preyed on a lot of the slower blue decks that are trying to do a lot of one-for-one removal, whereas a lot of these creatures are multiple bodies in a single spell. That being said, also against those blue decks, as you saw, Tamiyo kind of just stonewalls this deck entirely because so many of the creatures only have 1 power. So that is something to keep in mind. Even though it does tend to prey on blue decks, the Tamiyo blue decks in particular are a bit of a struggle. But overall, yeah, no, the deck was a ton of fun. It feels very well tuned, very good in general. Just had some absolutely terrible running in the league itself. But yeah, this deck was a blast to play. I will say the other thing I noticed is that against spell-based combo, this deck felt completely stone cold and that we were just racing them. And a lot of the times the combo decks are just faster because they don't need to deal with actually getting creatures into combat the way that this deck does and having to wait a turn to be able to actually get your creatures to attack because none of them come in with haste or anything. So, but it was a blast to play. It was a little unfortunate the league itself was so rough, but overall, I do think this deck is really good. I'm probably going to give it another shot at a later date. I don't think this league was particularly representative of how well this deck has done, especially for myself and for other people that have played it as well. But anyways, thank you all for stopping by. I hope you all had as much fun watching as I did playing. I will catch you all in the next video, and as always, stay salty. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you like what you saw. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like and sub button below. They are free ways to support the channel. And drop a comment, let me know what you like. Any kind of feedback you got, your opinions on my gameplay, the decks that I play, any of that kind of stuff. If you really like what you see, go ahead and drop by the Patreon. Become a patron, get to read some of my tournament reports and some stuff going on outside of just Magic in my life that I'm going to start putting over there as kind of my own personal blog. Also, you can do donation deck lists over there, just the price of a league if you have a specific deck you want to see, or you have an idea you want me to brew around, something like that, go ahead and do that. Nothing is required. It's always appreciated, though. Any donations go directly back into the channel, covering stuff such as leagues for donation decks or the rental program that I'm a part of. I am a small-time YouTuber. I'm doing this for fun. I really hope you all like what you saw. I truly appreciate you all stopping by. I will catch you all in the next video, and as always, stay salty.